Welcome home, Raiders! This week, how are you doing on your flying achievement? We'll take a look. And PvP is back on the menu for Legion. Well, there's more details inside. This is Convert to Raid number 191.
You're listening to Convert to Raid, the podcast for raiders in the World of Warcraft.
Convert to Raid podcast power station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is August 18th, 2015, and it is now 9:16 in the p.m. Central Time. Still not sure if I'm used to this or not. I could probably get used to it, though. Thanks for joining us from all around World of Warcraft land, and hello, my name is Pat Crane. I'm your host of the show, and I'm also known as Zug around Airy Peak, US. And the players are here. And it's actually kind of a special episode if you're a part of the CTR Guild, because we are going to go to sunny California with some fires, not many. And we're going to go see Terry's.
Less fires here, more earthquakes.
It's just all earthquakes.
It's just, I mean, every direction you go, it's just bad.
Okay.
I don't know why people live in this state.
All right. I have no idea either. That's why I live here. That's right. And now we're gonna go to Wisconsin and to the place where all the cows are and the lady behind Tauren Think Tank, all that kind of stuff. So Tauren, Wisconsin, makes sense. It's Jules Scott. Hey.
Hi, moo, all that great stuff.
/ moo.
I mean, really, you gotta give me the moo introduction. That's how it's gotta work tonight. But hi, Convert to Raid. I'm just rocking out on the theme music, which I absolutely love. It's I might have missed my cue if you didn't talk to me.
Don't worry about it. It's
all right.
It's all good. It's all good. and if you guys are a part of the CTR Guild, it's kind of funny because we represent the leadership, the senior leadership of the guild, which is sad and wrong.
Yeah.
Who's running the asylum right now, guys?
Nobody. It's a free for all right now. Good luck, everybody out in CTR land. And actually, it's been kind of nice. We've seen membership coming back to the guild, and we're above, I think, 8,000 players or 8,000 characters right now.
Might be because I haven't kicked anybody in a while.
Well, we can just leave it at that. I mean, we're above 8,000 characters. So that's all I really care about. And it's nice.
The numbers were looking good. I figured, why kick 1,000 people?
It can happen. It can happen.
Sorry.
So hi, guys. Hi, and welcome to the show. And Jules, it's been a while since you've been a part of the show. It's been actually a long, long time.
It's been a long time, like way too long.
And I wasn't even on the show when you were here last.
I know. That's the best part of the whole thing is the last time I did Convert to Raid, Pat was in Italy.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, it was a thing that I did. It was called vacation.
Okay.
It happens. It happens. So, Jules, why don't we talk about you and what you do? Give us the rundown on Tauren Think Tank and what you guys do over there with Markonnen.
Sure. Tauren Think Tank is we're an interpersonal WoW podcast. I mean, we call ourselves a WoW podcast, but it's really kind of diverged into gamers in general. And what we do is talk about the stuff that affects us as gamers, stress and depression and relationships and the things that we have as interactions with the other people. So we get letters from our listeners and we talk about all of the things that you guys want us to talk about in relation to life. So like recently we talked about friendship and why it's hard for some people to make friends and other people can just be like, yeah, you're my best friend. I just met you yesterday. And why is this so hard? It can go any way we want it to because it comes from the listeners. And we're 3.5 years now. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Jeez.
I know.
It's been a while.
You guys just celebrated 4, so holy crap.
I know.
We
I
are
know.
old.
Couple of long-running podcasts right here.
Seriously.
And it's nice to have you on as part of the show. I know we've had our own stint on like that TV show, which is now done, but the relationship continues, and maybe more stuff will bloom from this. Who knows?
You and I work on a ton of stuff together behind the scenes too, and so it's like we just, even though I miss podcasting with you a ton, it's just like the time gets away from you and all those things that we do. But Pat and I work on a ton of stuff behind the scenes. Pat and I work on a ton of stuff behind the scenes. And so, yeah, you kind of get all three of us in one spot in the same time, and it's a miracle.
And we're working on something very large behind the scenes right now.
So cool.
And I won't tell you about it. I'm just going to tease it and then walk away. That's what I'm going to do. Let's go into what we've been up to this week in World of Warcrafts. And Darius, I want to find out, how is the Convert to Mythic team doing right now?
Well, the Convert to Mythic team, without me, is doing pretty well. We raided on Thursday, and I actually had to leave because I got called into work. And a couple hours after I left, they downed Heroic Archimond for the first time.
Oh, wait, hold on a sec. I got big applause there. Oh. There, and then of course there it is. There it is. Sorry. That stuff happens from time to time.
I've been waiting all week for that.
I was trying to drink water, and then you brought that up, and then it didn't work out well. So hi. So they downed Heroic Archimond.
Yeah, without me there. And then we spent all day Sunday bashing our heads against Mythics. One of our main tanks was out, so we had a DPS, tanking in basically DPS gear, and it just didn't go well.
Now, was this on the first boss, or was this?
Yeah, this was on the Hellfire Assault, the trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do kind of need everybody there, don't you?
Yeah, we were missing a couple people. It was a bad night for 3 or 4 people to be out when you carry a lean roster.
Right. Well, congratulations to your team for moving beyond Heroic now and going into Mythic, and that's exciting stuff. And now this is where you want to live, right? This is the Mythic. Yeah. The Mythic stuff is where you want to be. Now, obviously, mechanics were a little much for the team as it stood this week, but are you expecting to down Assault pretty easily?
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty close. It was just, having a tank that was undergeared as a tank,
right,
it just was difficult. So, but we'll get it this week, I'm sure.
Cool.
And hopefully Hellfire or Fell Reaver, whatever it is.
Fell Reaver.
Reaver.
Just remember that when you down Assault, that Fell Reaver will come in and stomp on the ground and you under it if you're there. I just remember that first week when I saw you get stomped by that guy, and I don't think I've laughed quite that hard since. So, congratulations on that one, buddy.
Yeah, I was doing loot. That's what it was. I was doing loot.
I was doing loot from the middle of the field for the Fell Reaver, for the Iron Reaver.
Seemed like a good place to do loot. I don't know.
Right. So, Jules, tell us about your raiding experience. What are you doing right now in Hellfire Citadel? I'm assuming it's Hellfire, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're actually... So I have a team that's called Cat on Fire. Kind of funny. We are kind of a more casual raid team than I've been on in the past. We're one night a week, which is great for me because my schedule is just so busy. So we wind up doing Hellfire Citadel on normals right now, but we've got a bunch of Mythic Raiders or, too soon to be Mythic Raiders who are coming in on their alts or on their mains, and they're just coming to teach us how to do these fights. So last night we raided, and we have now gotten down 8 of the 13 bosses on normal, which is fun. And we're such cheaters. Like, we have all these people who have been doing this on heroics and trying to train up for mythics, and they're like, okay, here's the fight, here's the rundown, here you go here, go here, go here. We have Spencer as our raid caller, and he just basically tells us what to do. We do it, and we win. We're cheaters.
That sounds like every other raid team, really.
Well, it feels like, I feel like we're totally ganking the system because they've already learned all of the fights and we're just following that. But they were telling us last night, you guys are doing a little bit better than our team in following directions. And we were like, oh, really?
See, you listen and then you do. You don't just do without the listening part.
Right.
Most raiders, they don't listen and then they just do their thing because they think they know it already because they've watched the videos. Yeah. They've seen it kind of unfold a little bit, and then they're like, I know what I'm doing. And they go, what did I do wrong? And then you're like, you have to explain mechanics to them time and time again. Your guys ahead of the curve on that. So
yeah, I mean, they're like, okay, we're doing Iskar tonight. Download Iskar Assist. Get this going and do what I tell you to do. Okay, this person tossed to that person. This person tossed to that person. So that's what we did. But I had a problem with running right and left last night. So the laser would come out and I'd hear Spencer go, Jules left, and I'm running right. It's like, where am I going? But I'll just blame the fact that it was like the last time of the night. That actually sounds like a guy that I know on the safety dance from way back in the day. Yes.
From the raft days.
It's fun. And so I mean, I used to raid at a higher intensity level for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it just feels a lot better to have a more casual team. And we have between 12 and 16 people that show up every week. And I love the flex system for that. It's awesome. Yep. And the one night a week just allows us to kind of breathe and giggle and laugh on Mumble. And yeah, it's been great. So I will be representing the casual raider tonight.
I will also be representing the casual raider tonight.
I think you're representing the no raider right now.
Yeah, right now it's the no raider because there's a lot of stuff going on with family stuff. So I just haven't been able to do it in the last few weeks here, and it's kind of annoying. I've tried to go in on LFR, and even LFR is a bit of a demon for me. It's a bit of a, it's too much time or whatever. Rocket League is much more my thing, or Heroes right now, where
Heroes of the Storm.
Get in and out after, like a half hour, and then I'm like, okay, now I got to go do real life stuff or whatever. So it's hard. It's hard when things, go weird in life. So, it's just kind of one of those things. But the nice thing is, I think I may be back this week into raiding, and for that I'm going to give myself a very small applause.
Tiny.
Very tiny applause for being able to go back into raiding, and I think that's going to happen this week. So I'm
Are you going back to the raid team that you created and then abandoned?
Correct. Yeah, okay. So it'd be the Thursday morning raid team, good to the last drop, and I know that they've been kicking some butt in Hellfire right now, so I'm very excited to be carried by those guys this week, and it's going to be great. So there. Now, Jules.
Yes.
You were not on the show last week.
I was not.
We talked all about Legion, and I want to get your views on Legion. We kind of talked about our views on just kind of the in-depth stuff and kind of some of the possible pitfalls, and some of the things that we were looking out for Legion, some of the good things, some of the bad things. Now, what do you think about Legion overall as a package, especially when you first heard about this expansion?
The thing that I really like about Legion is that they're doing a little bit of a shift here in your focus of I really like the idea of the class halls. I really like the fact that they're focusing more on what's happening with your class, kind of pushing the class pride a little bit further, because we've already we do that already with Horde, Alliance, and then there's the people who are like, I play Mage is the only class, and then I play Druid. I personally do play Druid, and so it's like Druid power, all that stuff, and so it's kind of embracing that in the game, which is the first time that I've really seen the game start to do that. So that to me feels good.
Good.
The story, I'm on the fence, because I feel like we're running over the same road again. Darius has got this background going right now. He's somewhere in Burning Crusade, sorry. And that's what I'm envisioning Legion to look like. They showed us other things that are going to be pretty cool, but I envision the picture of the demons running around in the smoky hells, and it's not dissimilar to what we just ran through with all of Warlords of Draenor. So a little worried about the storyline. I'm hoping that it really takes us into some place where we haven't been before.
Right.
Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm a healer. I love to heal. So when they said no healing for Demon Hunters, I was like, oh, come on. But it makes sense. But come on. Like, I want a new healing class. I want to do something different with my healing. But, that was just me being greedy. So,
Right.
And everybody's asking me, are you going to roll a Demon Hunter? I will look at it for the storyline. I'm not a melee player. So we'll see and maybe I'll convert myself and be like, I'm totally melee. But I'm not sure about that.
Dude, melee is where it's at. Right, Darius? Playing the priest?
No.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Melee.
Punchy priest, yeah.
See now. I kind of find some solace in melee from time to time. I think that especially later in this expansion, I've been able to kind of drift off into melee a little bit and play some DK, play a little bit of a monk, a little bit, and I've had fun with it. I have, and I'm really looking forward to Survival Hunter, because going melee as Hunter with a pet, which is going to be weird, it's gonna be cool. So I'm looking forward to Survival Hunter for Legion. I'm looking forward to Demon Hunter. I'm looking forward to what other hunters are there? That's it. Just those two. Okay, those two hunters. Yeah. Okay. And I think that'll be good. So that, and hopefully all the druid stuff will be awesome as well.
What happens in a raid if you have a demon hunter and then a warlock summons a demon? Do they get confused? They
automatically blow up the demon?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I would like that for lore's sake if that happened.
Maybe like they have to. They're like,
yeah, it becomes a target, and it's the only thing they can attack.
It was the only red thing, dude. That's all I could hit. That'd be great. I like
Are you excited though about the Emerald Dream raid instance? Are you excited about that?
Yeah, I actually am. I'm glad that we're seeing anything Emerald Dream, Emerald Nightmare. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm glad that we're seeing some of this stuff, because there's that, and then there's the Eye of Ashara dungeon, and then there's all this. I mean, there's some pretty cool stuff that I think can be found in this next expansion, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the instances, especially. So cool. That's good. Darius, how about you?
I'm just looking forward to more raids. If they're as good or better than the current ones, then yeah, I don't care where they are. The Emerald Dream thing seems a little fan servicey, but if they can make it work, I'm all right with that.
Thank you for your support.
Yes, the thump his chest in solidarity.
I don't care, man. Just give me raids. Make them good. That's all I care about.
Choking back a cough when I'm trying to answer.
Awesome. Well, Darius, okay, so Darius, now I don't think we really discussed this in depth last time because we were running long, I know, so we didn't have a chance to go into like all the things we were really excited about or anything like that. But is there anything in particular other than rating being gooder than what it is now?
Really? Gooder?
Gooder.
More gooder is better.
More gooder is betterer. For the raids. Other than the raids, is there anything that you're looking forward to for Legion?
I mean, just new stuff. I always love new stuff. It's hard. It's hard to say. I'm already on the alpha, so I've already been playing everything.
Let's talk about that for just a second. I want to talk about this for just a second because it was weird. This week we got a lot more views on our YouTubes because of a little post in Reddit. And Darius, I want you to explain what happened on last week's show. And actually, guys, if you haven't seen this, it's actually pretty interesting. You should go back to our show last week, the video show, to about an hour in or so. And Darius, what did you say that sparked a controversy on Reddit?
We were talking about demon hunters, I guess, and just while you and Ro were talking, all I said really quickly was, I'm really enjoying them on the alpha. and then I said, oops, and like made a face like I was surprised. And boy, did people read way into that. Way into that.
Well, it was funny because it started out as, do you think he's joking or do you think he's serious? And then it changed from that, and then people just bought it and said, how much trouble is he going to get into?
It was our comments on YouTube, and there was a whole Reddit thread about it, just like how the internet lawyers were going to come after me, and how I was never going to be in another alpha again, and like all sorts of people were weighing in. I think Towley weighed in, and I think there was a bunch of other people that are known that weighed in as well, and it was just weird. It was really interesting to read how much people could read into like less than a second reaction that I had. It was great. I loved it. It was he did a little face, and then he did a little face again where it was just like, yeah, you know, and you just kept talking like it didn't happen, like you weren't even acknowledging it. I just skated right over it, and you did the face again, and everybody went, oh yeah, it's totally a deal now. It's totally in. I'm not allowed to talk about the alpha, so I can't mention how much fun I'm having in Demon Hunters. Hey guys, I'm not in the alpha. Wink. So that's good. Oh man. All right. Before we get to the actual show part of the show, actually, I think that was probably the best article of the week. Really.
Yeah, it was.
Shut it down.
But I want to talk about BlizzCon a little bit. Now, of course, we have a couple of parties that we're going to be going to BlizzCon weekend, but there's also some other stuff, and that is the BlizzCon goodie bag. And those were sent out to other people other than us over the last couple of weeks.
Because of my alpha comment.
Probably because
you don't get anything anymore.
Damn it, Darius.
Yeah, Zarheim, Zarhim, Zarman About Town, he just yanked it. He just said, nope, you guys don't get it now. Because he said something about alpha, so you're screwed. But the goodie bag was revealed, and there's actually a bunch of cool stuff in this. And this is for anybody that has purchased a ticket. And for those guys that are planning on buying a virtual ticket, you can actually purchase a goodie bag as well. And there's a bunch of stuff in there. And there's like a messenger bag, which I think is amazing. That's awesome. I love to see that they're actually putting a bag in the bag so that you can carry around all your stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the other stuff. I just want the messenger bag.
The bag is the bag.
There were plenty of goodie bags from BlizzCons in the past where I felt like somebody went into the like swag room at Blizzard headquarters and just said, we just need to get rid of a bunch of stuff. Like it just felt like a hodgepodge of just crap almost sometimes. And this goodie bag actually, like, I'm actually excited to pick this one up.
Yeah. I mean, this
looks really good.
We've got luggage tags and stickers and keychains and figurines and a Mercadan pin. Mercadan. And this inflatable side blade thingy. You wear it on your wrist.
Mercadan is actually Wimbledon's brother, the guy that does our website. I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah. I know that guy.
They're
brothers. I didn't know. I didn't know he was.
He doesn't talk about it a lot because
he's a Murloc.
He's a Murloc. Like you don't want to talk about.
But then again, I haven't met him in real life, so makes sense.
No one likes to talk about it.
This just got weird.
But
got weird 4 years ago.
I know.
It started weird. Jules, what do you think about this wonderful goodie bag of goodies?
I'm with you. The messenger bag is the shiz. That is the best.
Wow, for a second I thought I was gonna have to bleep you.
Oh no. I got you. No, I love that. I thought that was the smartest thing because that's not cheap. You know, the other years it's been a clear BlizzCon printed plastic bag that you carry around. So this is really cool. Of course, I just bought the World of Warcraft messenger bag that was on sale a couple months ago. So now I'm going to have two. Oh, darn. But I know. There's what I like though about this. Did you guys notice that they just pretty much covered every one of the franchises?
Oh yeah.
In the messenger bag, like everything's covered.
Yeah, because they have all the logos down at the bottom, right? So as the flap comes over, it says, does it say Blizzard on the flap? I think it does. And then it has all of the different logos for all the different games.
Yeah.
Along the bottom of it, so you can always see it. That's cool.
No Titan logo, though, unfortunately.
There's a Titan. But it's Titan your boots. Titan your boots. I still love that bit.
It's my favorite bit, I think.
That was one of the best ones.
And if you guys didn't hear this bit, go back to our 4-year anniversary just a little while ago and go check it out because it's hilarious. I love that. I love that bit. Now, also for BlizzCon, I want to let people know that Jules, you have been in charge of the Well Played Party, which is the party that we've traditionally done on the Friday night of BlizzCon, and that tradition is continuing because of support of all of people like you guys out there in listening land and
the internet.
And thank you guys for your support in this. Jules, now, is there anything special lined up for Well Played Party as yet?
We're working on all that great stuff right now. But what I can tell you is that there will be a photo booth there the entire night for everybody who's there. So you can get your picture taken with props and all that great stuff. I can't promise that we'll have, a big Doomhammer or something like that. But, bring your own. And
bring your own Doomhammer.
Bring your own Doomhammer.
BYODH. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There was someone, one of our fans tweeted at me earlier in the week and is doing the hammer from what's his name, the final guy on Blackrock Foundry.
The one with the fire bellows on it.
Yeah,
What?
It looks awesome. Yeah, what? It's her cosplay.
So what's going?
It's huge.
What's going on?
What's his name? What's Blackhand? It's Blackhand's hammer. Yeah.
Oh.
She's going as Blackhand, and she's made a life size Blackhand's hammer. So that'll probably be there, and that's going to be.
Do I know this?
It's going to be awesome. No, I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah, calling all cosplayers. Start bringing your weapons to Well Played parties so people can take pictures with them in the photo booth.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That'd be sweet. So we're working on all that great stuff. Right now, we're like knee deep in Kickstarter merchandise fulfillment. So that's what we're working on right now. And then I need to sit down with Sir Pat Crane, talk about all the cool stuff that we're going to do at the party. I know you have to work.
You guys are mailing me to some, or no, it was breakfast.
We're taking you to breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was a little confused because I thought maybe you guys were mailing me to somebody. But I don't know. It seems really
we
confusing.
can talk.
I just said yes to whatever you asked.
We're gonna make sure that you have the proper postage to send yourself to a viewer who has purchased you from the Kickstarter, and that's where you're gonna live for the rest of your life.
That's what I was worried about when I said yes to. I'll do whatever you need me to do.
It should be fun, and we're also planning the live stream alongside of all of the party stuff as well, so that whether or not you go to BlizzCon, you'll still be able to participate, enjoy, and hopefully get a little bit of a show. We'll see exactly what's in store, but I want to do it up a little bit for those guys that are streaming the party. I don't want it to just be like a camera and hey, look at all the people. Look at all the people passing by the camera. Not
that's
very
boring.
Interesting. Yeah, exactly.
No, that's boring. We have we will have all that set up, and because the live stream was funded by you guys. I mean, the Kickstarter, you guys made that happen. So that's going to make, we've got stuff that we're going to plan, and we're also going to get someone to help us do the live stream who really knows what they're doing. So yeah, it's going to be professionally done. Super excited. And I started making my to-do list, and I stopped about after 4 pages or so and went, okay, I need to go do something else for a while. It's a lot of work to run these parties, but man, it's fun. And if you're Yeah, and if you're going to be at BlizzCon, and so it's on that Friday, November 6th, it's going to be in the Hilton, second floor of the Hilton and the California Ballroom. It's open to everybody. You do not have to be a CTR Guild member. It is a community party. Starts at 7 o'clock. We're super stoked.
You don't even need a BlizzCon badge to go.
Yeah, you don't need a BlizzCon badge. You just have to, show up and say, I'm a nerd. I mean, you don't even have to be a nerd. You can just show up.
No, you don't have to be a nerd, but it helps.
Yeah.
There's going to be other nerds there, so it helps to be a nerd for sure. And by the way, Darius, you posted the tweet in the chat room, and I totally know that person.
Okay.
I totally know who she is. That looks amazing, too.
Sure.
It's great. I like it.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it lights up and everything she said, too. Like, it's full blown.
That's cool.
Oh, holy crap.
That is.
Oh, holy crap. That looks, it's bigger than she is.
It makes for really, really good podcasting right now.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but it's going to be, it's like movie huge. It's like if you think about what those movie guys had to handle for the Warcraft movie, it's along that scope, maybe a little bit smaller.
She's standing next to a car, and it looks like she could crush the car with it. Granted, it's like a Chevy Aveo, like a tiny little car, but
it's
still.
a tiny, tiny car. It's only meant for one person, but it does look like she could crush it fairly easily. Yeah, you're right.
It's going to look pretty cool at BlizzCon.
All right, cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about some WoW news coming up. But first, let's check in with Kragmar.
Deep Thoughts with
Kragmar. Outside of a pet, a bow is a hunter's best friend. Inside of a pet, it's too dark to take aim.
This has been Deep Thoughts with Kragmar.
Calling all raiders from around World of Warcraft land. This is raiding news.
All right, it's time to check in with what's happening with news for raiders around world. What?
That was so bad.
It was bad.
Whoever writes for Kragmar.
That's Kragmar writes for
job.
Kragmar.
Man, he needs a new job.
Maybe
he needs a better hobby.
Other than trolling this show. Is that what you're saying?
So bad.
Why are you laughing then? That's what you have to ask yourself. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about what's going on for World of Warcraft. And we're talking about Legion. That's kind of the big thing right now, talking about Legion. And the big thing that happened this weekend was that Brian Holinka actually gave an interview to Bajira, who is a renowned WoW PvPer, to talk about what's coming up for PvP in the next expansion during the NA Arena Qualifier for BlizzCon. And for those guys that don't know...
You're down with PvP! Yeah, you know me! You're down with PvP! Yeah, you know me! You're down with PvP! Yeah, you know me! Who's down with PvP?
And you know what? I really am down with PvP for Legion. I really am excited for a lot of this stuff that's coming down the pipe for Legion. It's exciting stuff. I'm glad that they kind of blew it up, and now they're saying, okay, how can we actually make this system work for everyone? And it was pretty cool. Guys, did you watch this thing on Darius, did you watch this thing on PvP, or are you just...
I just want to point out first that in our show notes, it says raiding news in bold letters. Yeah. It's time to check out what's happening in the news of raiding. And the next word after that is PvP.
Well, that's a template. First of all, that's a template.
It's not raiding news. It's PvP news.
It's a template. I changed it for the actual show.
Can't do that.
For the actual show, I changed it around to talk about World of Warcraft and Legion. So
it's not raiding news.
So I understand this, but this is actually, you know what? I think that we might be able to circle around to rating at the end of this conversation, and I really hope that we do, because I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts.
From Kragmar to this.
But the important thing is, did you watch this? Do you understand what's going on with PvP for the next expansion?
I don't. What's PvP again?
Oh, jeez, that's where you hit other people. That's where you hit other people. and they hit you back.
Someone in the chat room said it's rating against other raiders.
Yeah. Well, and actually, it might be this time around. It's not going to just be PvPers against PvPers. It could actually be raiders against other raiders. That's nice. I like this.
I watched it and I understand it, but in order to maintain this facade, I need to pretend like I don't like it. Sorry, Holinka.
But you kind of do, don't you? You kind of do.
I would never say it on air, but maybe.
I like this stuff. So Holinka went on and he actually opened up a little bit more about what was going on for Legion, and everything that he said made Twitch chat smile, which was weird because that never happens.
I've never seen that
ever. And I missed the live stream, but that was the report from Bellular Gaming and from other folks, was that Holinka made everybody smile and rejoice about PvP and all this kind of stuff. Jules, I know you don't PvP either, but do you think that the changes that are in store for PvP make sense?
Oh, at least? Yeah. Here's why I don't PvP though. Because I have always felt that if you didn't get in the ground floor of PvP, then you were pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
There was no way for you to be anywhere competent at PvP unless you started from the beginning. And then you had to slog your way through getting yourself beat to a pulp over and over and over until you actually got enough gear that you could actually be viable. And most people who have any type of threshold for patience, which I don't, is to say, no, I don't want to do this. And so when he announced these changes, it felt like, okay, I'm on a level playing field now. And let me circle this back around to raiding for a second, because when I did PvP, or at least I tried to, it made me a better raider because I was my Twitch reflexes were so much more attuned to react.
Right.
And, you were so quick because you had to be so quick. And Terry's is going to break everything.
He's knocking stuff over, everybody.
It's like what my cat does when he's angry.
I know. You're just like, I'm going to trash my entire desk because I'm pissed at PvP. I just thought this actually made it accessible to people who are able to jump in at a certain point and not feel like they have to work their way and slog their way through crap.
Right.
Because I am currently addicted to Heroes of the Storm, which is totally PvP.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot more accessible because everybody starts on the equal playing field. You build your way up. When you start a game, everybody's at level 1. You're all leveling up together. You all get your talents to pick together. And they are taking some of those aspects for PvP in WoW to make this more viable. I love it. I actually might start PvP in WoW. I don't know why I said that out loud, but I did.
Well, and just so everybody knows exactly what he talked about in the interview was that, first of all, there's not going to be any more PvP only gear. There's no more resilience, no more PvP power, and I think for that, I want to do that. From a Raiders standpoint, I think that's great. And he said that, gearing was kind of a barrier for some people for playing, or it got a little weird from a tuning standpoint and all that kind of stuff. So your stats are going to be based off of your specialization. Mm-hmm. So off of your spec, it's going to your PvP power will be determined. So all of your stats will be based off of that. It's going to be put into a template, and then your gear is going to have a smaller part in determining how much actual power you have. And I think it was what Holinka was talking about was, instead of for every eye level upping your power by 1%, it would be every 5 eye levels would up your PvP power by 1%, which is kind of interesting. And it would make it so that at the end of an expansion, guess what? Even if you're a noob, you still stand a chance. Maybe. Yeah. Against these guys that have been PvPing forever, have all the gear ever. You might still be able to last a little while longer than you can right now, which is pretty much nothing. So at least for me, it's nothing.
Yeah.
I tried some PvP recently because I'm not raiding. So I went in and I did like a little BG. It was not pretty.
Did you have any gear?
No gear. Actually, I had some basic gear, but yeah, it was not good. It was not good at all.
No. It's getting rid of the gear and the PvP only gear and the trinkets too. I mean, because that was what it was, is they would tell you if you were going to PvP, you had to have the trinkets or GTFO.
Yep.
Because it would be worthless for you to go in there. You just die and you'd be frustrated and you quit. So I thought that was a perfect way to balance it out. And then you build up your prestige as you get better. I think that's perfect. You actually try harder. You get better rewards. You get to pick your talents as you go. It doesn't affect your rating. It's like, this could be the thing that turns people who are currently just raiders into raiders and PvPers.
Yeah. I mean, you have this way of thinking where they will be basing your power off of your spec. And so if they need to tune your particular spec, guess what? They can go in there and they can adjust it up or down depending on what they need to do, which means that everybody is on a more level playing field. No gear means that no PvP only gear means that everybody's on a more level playing field. And then also with these unlocks that they're doing for PvP talents, that's kind of an interesting way to keep you playing PvP and being able to unlock new talents along the way. That's great. So I was just really happy after this whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jules, did you actually watch the whole interview or just any of it?
I read the synopsis of the interview. I didn't actually watch it. But when they did the announcement about Legion and they talked about the PvP changes, I was sitting there. There were a lot of people who were on Twitter kind of going through all of the stuff going, oh, PvP, I'm going up to use the bathroom. Bye.
Yeah.
And then, but I sat through it. I listened to it and I heard what they had to say because I was kind of like, whatever, PvP. And when they announced all this stuff, I was like, dang, that is awesome. It makes me interested in learning more. And that is cool because in 10 years of doing all of this stuff with PvP, I've tried it. I've run Battlegrounds. When Wintergrasp was a thing, I used to run Wintergrasp.
Yeah.
It was just like, after a while, it got so frustrating because you just couldn't get any further without having the right gear. And I like the fact that I could raid and I could PvP and they would be completely separate from each other.
And yet kind of, at least from a gear standpoint, you don't have to do too much else. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. And they also, Brian Holinka said that it may be possible, like for every man for himself, the racial talent for humans may be changed, or that for PvP, humans won't be offered the CC break talent like everybody else will get. Therefore, they use their racial to get out of CC stuff where everybody else has to use a talent for it. But it kind of minimizes that racial ability, which is, again, I think probably the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. Try to minimize those racials, try to minimize gear, get everybody in, get them playing, get them unlocking all this stuff so that they have better talents and have more fun and not try to make it so that the top PvPers are just overpowering everybody else.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that I really liked about these changes is that they're really making more focus about arena and esports, the focus being out there now, the competitive scene. This is going to drive more interest, in my opinion, for people to watch arena because they're actually going to be out there trying to experience it themselves and compete, in their own matches.
Yeah.
That to me, I am becoming a pretty big esports fan, and that would add to the things that I would want to watch because it connects to me now.
Right. And I think it's smart. I mean, when you look at, and I'm seeing it in the chat room right now, when you look at the time investment for what you get out of it, right? I mean, especially from a Raiders standpoint. Let's take a look at this from a Raiders standpoint. And let's say you want to do PvP, but you don't want to farm all the gear. You don't have time maybe to farm all the gear. You don't have time to do all the stuff that you're supposed to do for Warlords right now. And in the next expansion, you'll be able to jump in. You'll be able to say, you know what, I want to do something different. I want to do something fun, be able to unlock some of this stuff and just go have a blast. So I'm really digging this stuff. And
Will you be jumping right in there?
I probably. I mean, to me, this is what this next expansion really needs is something major to happen in PvP, and I think that this has a lot of promise. I'm looking forward to seeing it in beta and see how it works out. But to me, it makes sense, especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there. And from an esport stuff, I mean, it just makes sense. We want to get people in there and have fun and make it seem like anybody can do this stuff. And actually, in the next expansion, everybody should be able to go in and do this stuff. So that's good. That's good. Is there anything else? Darius, you still seem annoyed that we're bringing up PvP in a rating show.
This doesn't convert to PvP.
But here's what I'm going to say. And this will bring it back to rating. If they do this where they tune individual specs for PvP, right? If they do that, then maybe they might do the same thing for these artifact weapons.
Right.
Who knows what they might do? I'm just supposing, right? So if we're finding that a particular spec is outdoing another particular spec, say disc priests are, maybe it's still a little bit too powerful, then they can dial back their artifact weapon or bump others up to match so that everybody can be on a more even playing field from spec to spec. Maybe that's why they're doing artifact weapons.
How is that any different than just modifying each spec?
Because it's
the way they do it now.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
Okay.
It's a little bit different. It's another way to adjust things.
Exactly the same, but okay.
No, it's a little bit different. Because your power would be based on your other stuff as well, your other unlocks as well. So, who knows? I'm kind of looking forward to it. All right. Today was a patch day, right?
Yay, flying.
No, flying.
No flying.
Yay, fly. Wait, we finally got oh, we didn't get flight.
Oh.
No flight today. Maybe next week. We'll see.
Maybe.
Maybe. Darius, you're ready for flight though, right?
Oh yeah.
You've been ready for flight for a couple of weeks now.
Forever. After 10N was released, I went in there every day, and then I got really bored with doing all the dailies, and I just bought a whole bunch of those tokens. So I've been ready for a long time.
Wow. That's
after
good.
I completed the whole thing, I killed every rare, I got every achievement in there, I got the titles, I got everything, and then I was just like, well, I don't feel like doing this anymore.
That's understandable. That is totally understandable. Now let's take a look at how other people are doing with the flying achievement. Jules, are you set for the flying achievement or no?
Nope.
Nope. Are you trying for the flying achievement? For the Pathfinder achievement? Nope.
See, this is I was really frustrated when that came out. I didn't like the fact that I had to do all of these achievements in order for me to unlock flying, especially the treasure hunter stuff, because I hate jumping puzzles. Like, I hate them. It's just really frustrating for me. And I just go start searching for a treasure and be like, screw this. I'm going to go do something else. And that's what happens. So I don't need to fly. I'm all right. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. So I started doing the treasure hunting thing, and after like a couple, I was like, you know what? Is this a major pull in my life? No, not really.
No.
And I think
I loved those. The treasure find. I did so many of those, almost all of them before they even said that's how you're going to get flying. I don't know. I really just liked the mindless running around of Draenor and finding treasures and figuring out how to get to them. It was, with those times that everyone is you're sitting on Mumble or Skype or whatever, and you're just talking to people and you're just flying circles around Stormwind.
Mm-hmm.
I used that time to go find treasures. No, I don't know.
You're a little off, aren't you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're just,
That's what my mom said too.
You're a Pokemon player, right? You collect them all.
Oh no, I've never played Pokemon.
See? Okay, you should, because obviously you would enjoy it because you'd have to get every single one of them.
Right. Actually, I think that it's cool that they laid out all these treasures, and it's something new for players to do, and you can get the maps, and I think the maps really throw me off probably more than anything else, because then I'm just looking for the X in the ground. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like, you get a map, you can say, okay, where is this X? What is this? And then it's somewhere like underground or above your head, and you're just like, what?
Or down more than 100 feet below you or whatever, and you're like,
right.
Okay, well, I guess I got to die now. Great, perfect.
Is that how you approach all the things? It's not just gotta die now.
I'm just going with the navigator, so I'm just like following the X. That's all I care about. I'm not worrying about terrain. Screw that. Who cares? I'm a druid. Why do I have to? And then I die. That's how I die.
So with these numbers, like, let's go back to this.
We haven't even introduced it yet.
Let's not talk about how awesome treasures are.
So let's talk about how people are earning and flying achievements right now in Warlords of Draenor. This came out this last week on MMOchampion.com. And it was a sample of 2 million players, not characters, players, that have logged in since July 1st. And Darius, go. What are we seeing with these numbers?
So
you're kind of our numbers
first,
guy.
I think that's a good thing to talk about at the very beginning, that MMO Champion, they're saying that since July 1st, so July 1st until a couple days ago, August, only 2 million people logged in, 2 million players.
They're not saying that. They're saying that the sample is based off of 2 million people.
2 million 100s, I guess.
Well, they're saying the sample is...
100.
The sample is 2 million people that have logged in since July. They're not saying only 2 million people have logged in since July.
I thought I had read that that's what they had found.
No, that's not what I'm reading here.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's okay. So of that, about 50% of these level 100 players, the players that have a level 100, at least one level 100 character, have 50 treasures, which I think most people come across just, questing up and whatnot. And then 50% also have Lore Master of Draenor. What's really surprising to me is only about 20% have Securing Draenor and 15% have Draenor Pathfinder. And you guys were both just talking that you don't want to find the treasures. That's why you haven't done it. And I was talking with a few other people a couple days ago about that, and they all thought that people are just waiting. Like they're close, but they're not quite there, and they're waiting for 6.2.2 to come out, and then they're going to finally get it. I'd be curious to see what people are actually doing, because it looks like people are attempting to get there with Lore Master and 50 treasures, but then when you look at 100 treasures, it's just over 30%, and 200 treasures is about 5%. Like, there's this huge drop off. So where are people stopping, and why is what I'd want to know. This is not, I thought these would be closer to 100 or 75%, and these are nowhere near that.
No,
so
they really are not. But how many treasures do you need to get the Pathfinder achievement?
150, I think.
Is it?
It's not an achievement, though. I don't think on its own.
Chat room will help us out. I'm sure that if we're wrong.
I thought it was 100.
I thought it was 100 as well.
Is it?
Yeah, it may be. So if that's the case, we're looking at 30% of the folks have. There we go. We're seeing it in the chat room right now. 100.
30% of people with 100 characters, the people that have logged in, are you would expect to be active, but aren't going for this. Why? Right. I get that. It's just that the treasure thing, but like, was it that people didn't like collecting Apexis crystals, or was it people didn't like dailies, or are people honestly just waiting to get it until the flying is actually in the game? Do people not care?
Let me talk about that as a person that has not yet collected 50 treasures. I haven't even done 50. If I had known that treasures would be a part of flying later in the expansion, I may have tried. But I didn't. And now that I have much more than 50 treasures to gather before I can even think about the Pathfinder achievement. I still have like a couple of the securing Draenor achievements to do as well, but it's like 2, you know. So with that, I'm like, do I really care about flying in Draenor? To me, it's never been a big deal. It's never been like this huge bother to me where I can't fly, and I'm not one of those guys to really go for something that I don't care about. Mm-hmm.
But are you gonna care about it when you're leveling through another 90 to 100 and then 100 to 110, or when you see everyone else flying around, or when you're trying to raid and everyone's flying to raid and you're stuck on your slow ground mount?
No, because I just make sure that there's a lock in my group, and then I'm fine.
Are you gonna care about it in the next expansion?
If they set it up early enough and they say, here are the expectations for Pathfinder in the next one, and we're making these flight points a little bit more inconvenient for you, then maybe then I would say, hey, I'll go do that. That's not a problem. But right now, I mean, I was never really troubled that we weren't flying at all. And actually, I'm leveling up a tune on the Horde side, believe it or not. I wanted to go check out the story over there, so I got on a hunter over there, a goblin named Greedo. and he walks around and he goes, hey, I'm going to shoot something. But it's a good time. And I don't mind that I'm not flying on him either. So there. They made it convenient enough for me so that I don't really give a ton of for flying. Jules, are you in the same boat, or are you a little bit different, or what?
Well, in the chat room, Slugs said people will start caring once they realize how slow they are compared to everyone else. I think that's a very good point, because what happens usually is that people will start to get peer pressure on other people to say, oh, I got flying. Oh, I really want to get flying. I need to do that. I've been putting it off for so long. I need to go do it. And then they'll go do it. If you look at the stats, though, which is really interesting, the Lore Master of Draenor has about 50%, but the Explore Draenor is only 30%.
Right.
And that's arguably, Explore Draenor is easier to just ride around and open
I would
up
think
the
you
area.
would get Explore Draenor almost fully by doing Lore Master of Draenor.
Right.
Well, no, not really. I mean, okay, so Lore Master of Draenor is really easy because all you have to do is complete all the chapters, right? And so if you're on your main the first time through, you basically get Lore Master of Draenor pretty easily.
Yes and no, but if you decide you're just going to jump to the next zone, then you wouldn't get that.
Yeah, I mean, I was on my main, I was missing a lot. I was missing significantly more in Lore Master than I was in Explore Draenor.
That's because you did all the bonus zones, or all the little bonus objectives.
Yep. They made leveling really quick, but still, I mean, I feel like if you're like, okay, I need Lore Master, and you look at that and you see, oh, I'm really close on Explore Draenor, I just want to know what's going on in people's heads, I guess.
They're thinking, hey, I want to go through this content at my own pace, in my own way. Why don't you leave me alone, Darius? That's what they're thinking.
That's probably true.
Get off my back, Darius. Maybe that's what they're thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
Yep.
Why don't you get off my back about it?
I'll just, be enjoying my flying mounts while you guys are busy looking for treasures.
Yeah.
When you realize how awesome it is to see me flying around on my rune saber.
We'll be looking up at you and trying to throw barbs at you.
Oh, he looks so cool up there.
And then I'll just go back to Stormwind and go, oh, yeah, here we go.
No, they're taking flying out of Stormwind.
Flying around on my Sapphire Panther mount. Yeah. There we go. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it.
Weird.
I think it's kind of cool. All right. Let's get into the Battlenet news. Hey, when we can, we take a look at the big headlines around the rest of the Blizzard universe. And first up, I want to talk about Diablo and Heroes because they have something cool that's coming up. They have a little synergy thing. Now, immediately following the next Heroes patch, any player with a Diablo 3 license on their Battlenet account will receive the Diablo hero in Heroes of the Storm for free. Jules, do you have the Diablo hero already?
Yeah, I do. That makes me mad. I already have Diablo. I bought it with gold.
Oh, yeah. Look at you.
Suckers.
Guess what? I get it for free. Yeah.
They need to make him more powerful and then he can wreck face.
I mean,
They need to make he's just so fun, but he's just not powerful enough and nobody's going to pick him. So
he's the Lord of Terror. Why isn't he more terrible? Actually, he's kind of terrible.
He's kind of terrible. But, he could be amazing if he had more power. That's what it was. So,
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs better gear.
He needs better gear. He needs to unlock some of those PvP talents. That's what he needs to do.
Yes.
Diablo 3 players who reach level 12 in Heroes of the Storm will also receive a unique pennant and portrait frame in Diablo 3 for PC and Mac. In addition, reaching level 70 with a seasonal hero in Season 4 and beyond gives you the shadowy Malthael's Phantom Mount in Heroes of the Storm. Another mount.
That mount is cool.
What does it look like?
It's an awesome armored horse, and it's so I want it. I just want it. I don't play Diablo very much, and I'm making a seasonal character so I can get that horse. Just
do what I usually do and wait until about middle of the season when the people on your raid team that really played a lot, are fully geared out, and just be like, hey, I want to make a character, and in an hour they will power level you,
right,
from 1 to 70. You'll be all set.
That's
the way I usually do it.
That's the most important thing. Also, Diablo, there may be a new DLC coming soon. Huh? One of the things there's a rumor about that Blizzard Entertainment could be cooking up some special surprises for Diablo 3 fans, and most likely at BlizzCon, with possibly Diablo 3 DLC that could mean something new for that particular game, maybe an expansion or something. But it's all because they posted a job posting for a position of art director for some unrevealed project where candidates must have, quote, a passion for games with a deep understanding of the Diablo franchise. So, Diablo MMO.
PvP.
Diablo MMO. Calling it.
That's pretty much. It's going to be a Diablo MMO. They're actually adding Diablo to Overwatch.
Oh gosh.
He's done so well in Heroes. They figure, why not just stick him in Overwatch too?
I don't know. Jules, any thoughts on this at all?
Diablo MMO, huh?
Yeah.
That I don't think they would do that. I don't think so. It'd be another expansion. It'll be they'll go for a new expansion. They'll come up with some new ways to really get you cross-pollinated with the other games too. I don't know.
Cross-pollinated. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right.
Gross.
I know it's kind of gross when I say it out loud. I don't know. All you see though is that they're just everything is running each other's stuff. Like, you want a Hearthstone card mount in Heroes? Well, play some Hearthstone. Or you want this portrait? Play this.
Right.
That's what it is. So you can see how it's working. Right. I'm betting it's a new expansion.
Yeah, maybe. I think that if any other one of the Blizzard franchises could go MMO or something similar, or something different with their game, I think Diablo would be the one to do it. But I don't think they want to do that.
I don't think that they would ever make another MMO. I'm going to go out on a lim and say that.
I don't think they would. I think that WoW is really tough to beat. So why try to beat it why try to beat yourself up?
Yeah.
And that makes no sense whatsoever.
You've seen companies in the past try to make a WoW killer and fail. Lose a lot of money, lose subscribers, have to go free to play, and fire everybody and all these kind of things. So who's to say that WoW or Blizzard could ever create a WoW killer? It was, it's lightning in a bottle. You only get it once. So why sacrifice your current sales? Why cannibalize yourself by having people split between these two games, then one of them fail miserably? They would never do that. I don't think. I think they're smarter than that, but I don't know. I bought 3 hats from them, so
this is true.
What do I know?
You did buy 3 hats, so
3
you're really great
hats.
for financial advice.
Yeah, what do I know?
I like it. But speaking of financial advice, there was actually an article in the Motley Fool, which is weird, and I saw this. Somebody said this in the chat room before the show, and so I threw it in here because I'm like going, oh yeah, no, this is cool, because it's actually kind of an interesting article. It's kind of like a what if Blizzard no longer had World of Warcraft type of situation, type of scenario. Would Activision Blizzard be hit all that hard if World of Warcraft wasn't around anymore? And they said, okay, there's a couple of different things. There was, what was it? Before all these other games, the World of Warcraft franchise was worth 90% of Blizzard sales. And now it's, what is it?
It's not even the majority of sales at this point.
No.
Everything
and
is
that was
so
just
split.
2011.
Yeah. That's 4 years ago. 4 short years ago.
Yeah.
So, guys, I think the question is, could Blizzard survive without World of Warcraft, and would it be any good without it? And Jules, I'll go to you first since you're the guest. I'll let you answer the tough questions.
Would it survive without World of Warcraft? Yes. Because the franchise, the characters live on in other franchises. But I think that the World of Warcraft universe needs a home. Warcraft itself needs a home, and maybe that would be Warcraft 4. That they would go to that realm rather than
People have been talking about Warcraft 4. Warcraft 4 is not going to happen, is it? No.
Why do you think not? I mean, these days,
RTS?
who the hell knows? RTS. It seems like it's there, but I've been saying all along, at least for the last 6 months, that we've really evolved into.
I've been saying all along for the last 6 whole months.
6 months. You caught that, didn't you? That we've really evolved into Blizzard gamers rather than being WoW gamers, because I called myself a WoW gamer for years because I didn't really play any other Blizzard franchise religiously, or just kind of checked it out and said, nah, that's not it. But there wasn't a lot of choice. You had StarCraft, you had Diablo, and you had Warcraft, and you knew that Warcraft had the eye of Blizzard. That's what their focus was. And now we've got Hearthstone. Now we have Heroes of the Storm, and now we'll have Overwatch. Yep. And people are super stoked about getting into these games, but they can jump in and out and move around and do all these things, whereas World of Warcraft was that full-time commitment where you had to spend all your time in there. You could be a casual gamer, but you pretty much dug all your time into World of Warcraft if you did anything. Or you dug all your time into StarCraft if you're into that.
Yep.
So I see the shift happening. It's coming. It's already here.
It's here. Yeah.
So I think Derry said this. We were talking about this in pre-show. Derry said that as a company, they need to diversify.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And there was another report that Hearthstone was making $20 million a month, which is
That's insane.
Amazing, which is totally awesome, especially for a free game to rake in $20 million a month. And that was a report from some other place, and I don't have it here, but yeah, I mean, it was a market report released by Superdata, saying that they make $20 million a month, which is cool. And that just goes to show you that you can diversify and all that kind of stuff. Now, Darius, do you think that World of Warcraft would be Blizzard games would be any good without World of Warcraft at all?
I think without the Warcraft universe, obviously Blizzard wouldn't be where it's at. But
Sure.
if WoW was to die tomorrow, Blizzard would still continue. I mean, WoW is WoW is still a big part of their bottom line, but it is not the 90% part that it used to be. And I think that's a good thing. It's more games for us to play. It's more diversification, but it's also more money coming in. So, each game can individually get better on its own as the company as a whole is doing well. So I think Blizzard would be just fine. I think the games would continue to be fun. They don't, even if you took Warcraft characters out of the other games, they would still be enjoyable.
Sure. The one thing that I will say is that I know that a lot of the players that play the other Blizzard games, they find their teammates through games like World of Warcraft. And I think that if you're looking for a great place to find people and to gather together and to find friends that are interested in games from Blizzard, World of Warcraft is probably the place where they started out. I know that is the case with a lot of the teams that I'm seeing in the Heroes of the Pants tournament, which is a Heroes of the Storm tournament that's happening right now. Jules, you were in that, right?
I was.
You were.
I got my butt kicked.
You got your butt kicked by Sharku, man.
I did, and Randy. Yeah, Sharku and Randy.
Yeah, and actually, it's a lot of the Team Asparagus guys. They're still in it. They're in the finals, and I'm totally rooting for all Team Asparagus.
They are a good team, by the way.
They're really good, and so is the team that they're up against. Really good. And I think the team they're up against is actually undefeated. So look out, guys. And they're called Adults with Jobs over on the Heroes of the Pants tournament. And they're doing excellent.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to do. It was a totally casual tournament. Yep. There's only bragging rights on the line, but it was a way for groups of teams to get together and start playing Heroes. And it was a blast. I had a great time.
And I really do think the majority of players, the majority of teams got together because of World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
everybody I played with was somebody I knew from WoW or related to WoW.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really cool to see that. And I think that without World of Warcraft, there would be this big, huge gap where you wouldn't be able to meet the same people or experience it the same way, no matter what Blizzard game you actually wanted to play more of. World of Warcraft is there for you, especially for all the community stuff that they've done, which has always been very, very good. All right. What? Anything else, Darius?
No, I just said few.
Oh, all right.
Lots of news.
There has been a lot of news this week. And I do want to get to one question here. So let me just get to that one here real quick.
We've got mail.
We do, and if you have anything for us about rating or anything else, let us know. We'll try to answer it on the show. You can email us at converttoraid@gmail.com or call our raid line at 612-787-RAID. And this question is going to be from Renato Gia. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It says, it's from Twitter. It says, do you think bringing in some new scenarios would be a good idea for now to keep us busy until Legion drops? So Renato, I think is his name, asked us that, and I want to ask that to you guys. Now, we haven't seen scenarios this whole expansion. No scenarios. Screw it. We're not doing that this expansion. So do you think that scenarios would help keep butts in the seats for now, Jules?
I have to say no, just because it doesn't seem like people had a lot of interest in the randomness of scenarios where you didn't need a tank healer DPS combination. You could get tossed in with 3 DPS and just run through, and it was a loot grab. That's all it was. It was an opportunity for you to try to get some better loot. But once you've seen the lore at that particular point one time, it doesn't have a lot of interest. So they put a lot of work into creating these scenarios, and people would be just like, oh, loot grab. Okay, I'm done. Bye. So I don't think that's the way I would go.
What, is there a way that you would go?
They have to get us out of our garrisons.
Yeah.
But they have to do it in a way that's not related to grinding rep or grinding Apexis crystals. They need to do something that is going to get us out. I've really always felt like dragging us out of our garrisons to other places within the world itself, not just Draenor, getting us out to do other things even going back to Wrath of the Lich King or other areas to go do certain things for questing could be interesting. Again, I'm not into the grinding. Again, I'm not into the whole like, let's just do this to get this to go there and then fly here and back and forth. So it's becoming a difficult problem to solve because right now I'm stuck in my garrison. I don't want to go anywhere.
Right.
But I don't really have a need to go anywhere right now. You have to find a way to get me out of there.
I've got an idea. Argent tournament.
Oh,
Argent tournament for warlords. Darius.
Did you enjoy that?
I kind of did. Darius. I enjoyed the ridiculousness of it. Darius, now, do you think scenarios would be okay, or do you have another particular thing that might pull people, keep the butts in the seats?
I don't think anything is going to at this point. Anything they do is just going to be seen as a stopgap, and it's just going to be thrown together at this point because they're so far into development into Legion. They'd have to bring people back to here in order to do it. I don't think that's going to happen. They would need a massive content patch with things that I can't even fathom,
right?
In order to get people to stick around at this point or not be frustrated with how things have gone. I don't think scenarios are going to be that. No, I don't know of anyone that particularly enjoyed scenarios in the past, so I don't see those things. I don't see them keeping people around.
I enjoyed them. I mean, for like the once or twice that you do them.
But yeah, but they're not going to keep you around. You're going to do them once or twice.
And I think that's the reason that they probably didn't do any for this expansion. They said, "Oh no, this is going to be just like Dungeons, except less,
structured."
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So I don't know what you do to make sure that people are doing dungeons or scenarios or anything like that. I think getting out of the garrison would be nice, but at the same point, maybe we're a little late now for a stopgap, for a Ruby Sanctum or, something along those lines.
Remember the zombie plague that was before Lich King's release?
Yeah.
You know what you could do? What they could do is they could start a wave of orcs that are going to come and dismantle your garrison, and you've got to keep fighting them off until they finally do dismantle your garrison. And then you've got to go help your friends to keep their garrison alive until it, so it's one of those kind of like beat the timer kind of things.
Well, hold on a sec though, because if a wave of orcs is going to come take my garrison, I'll say, "Hey guys, it's right over here. I'm not using it anymore. Come on over." All my followers would be freaking out. They'd be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said that." I'd be like, "Nope, it's right back here. Actually, there's a secret entrance. If you come around this way, you can come in the back way, and then you'll like take everybody's by surprise. It'll be great."
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the garrison. If it's protecting the garrison, I think I'll just not. I don't know. Not my favorite part of Warlords. So with that, jeez, we're leaving on kind of a dark note.
Yeah, really.
But I'm gonna play this song, which is Derry's favorite, because it always gets him dancing like a fiend. And this means that we're gonna take a look at who gave us a shout out on iTunes this week. Darius, who do we have?
We only have one this week. We have Predator 1969.
But it was really awesome. And it's quality over quantity every time. And I do want to thank the hundreds of people that that showed up on Reddit and our YouTube page for last week's show. It was amazing. It was truly amazing, the response that we got on Reddit this week. So thank you guys for that. It made me laugh. It made me laugh out loud. ROFLOL. Any shout-outs this week here, guys? Jules, shout-out to you for coming on this show, for showing your face here.
Why? Thank you for having me back. It's been awesome. I like showing my face here. You can have me back anytime you want.
All right. Sounds good. Also, a shout-out to John and Ben from Azeroth Roundtable. I was on this last weekend on Azeroth Roundtable, and those guys, we had a really good time over there. Talked more about Legion, and it was actually, if you know Azeroth Roundtable, lately they have been straying away from World of Warcraft, and this was a show that was mostly about World of Warcraft. So you guys will like it. I know you will. It's fun. Anything else? All right.
Can I give a quick shout out to I Remembered It Better for our Parsec Award finalist nomination?
Oh, yes, and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, my buddies over at I Remembered It Better, my other podcast that I do, we are up for a Parsec Award, and we are one of the finalists, and we'll find out during DragonCon if we win.
Oh,
Yay!
that's right. In Atlanta. In Hot
Atlanta.
Atlanta. When is that? That's September, right?
It is. It's September.
It's
it's
Labor
during
Day
Labor
weekend.
Day weekend. Yeah.
So we'll find out then. Good luck to you guys. I know that there are several other people that I know that are up for Parsec Awards. Congratulations to those guys for being in the finals as well. And with that, I'm going to bail on the music.
Just going to bail on.
Yeah, I'm just going to bail out on. And I'm going to play this one. Now, we cannot do this show without you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to rate us on iTunes. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the questions, and some of which that we did not get to this week. And thanks for all the feedback again on Reddit and YouTube and all that stuff. Please feel free to join in on all the conversations we're having at any time. You can email us at converttораid@gmail.com. You can call us and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can follow us on Twitter at converttораid, or even individually, isn't that right, Darius?
You can follow Pat Crane at Pat Crane with a K. Darius is at BoardMine, and Jules is at Moo Tauren.
No,
Jules?
that's not it. Jules, what is your Twitter account?
My Twitter account is at JulesRPG.
Right, and you can also find our show at TaurenThinkTank.com. You can find I Remembered It Better. Where's that at?
I Better on Twitter.
Okay. And you can also find it as a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. Make sure to tell your friends and go over there and enjoy podcasts. That's what signalsmedia.com is all about. Now, you can also head over to the Bazooba Nation over at converttораid.com, where we have show downloads, forums, videos, audios, tons of links for raiders, so much more. All the guild stuff as well, which the three of us run for some reason.
Yeah.
What?
Dysfunctionally, probably.
Who decided that?
But that's all over at converttораid.com. For the live shows, you can head over to converttораid.com/live. Starting next week, we'll have that all cleaned up for you. I swear.
Maybe. Probably. I promise that we might have it fixed.
Right. And that's going to be it for the show. We hope you guys had a good time. I know that I had a really good time today. And thank you again, Jules. Thank you, Darius, for whatever you do.
Naturally.
And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on our next show next week at our regular time, our new regular time, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central. For all the guys that Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.